You know that moment when you realize the world doesn't actually care about you? Not in the cruel way, but in the quiet, unavoidable truth that most people around you, friends, lovers, even family, will at some point let you down. They'll take advantage, they'll challenge you, and your emotional innocence will get tested. Sounds harsh? Maybe. But here's the thing. Understanding this is the first step to taking control of your life. Because if you think the world owes you something, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Here's a truth most of us don't like to hear. You weren't born ready for this world. Not you, not me, nobody. When you were a kid, you absorbed everything, your parents, your surroundings, your emotional reactions. You learned what people thought, what society expected, and you assumed it was real. But here's the catch. Most of what we absorb isn't teaching us how to think, it's teaching us what to think. And that's dangerous, because the people around us, the ones we trust, aren't always equipped to teach thinking either. They just pass on their fears, biases, and assumptions. So if you feel confused, stuck, or like you're repeating mistakes over and over, that's not a failure. That's just the product of growing up in a system that didn't teach you the right tools. Let me break it down. Think of yourself as a product with hope attached to it. The world expects you to grow into someone capable of choosing your career, your relationships, your environment, your life. The better your choices, the more value you create for yourself. But here's the problem. Most of us grow up without knowing how to learn properly, let alone how to think. Our early lessons are shaped by emotions, fear, and the opinions of others. And unless we actively work on it, we end up repeating those lessons, thinking we're making informed choices, when really we're just following old patterns. So what's the alternative? Learning how to think. This is different from learning facts or skills. It's a way of seeing the world critically, of questioning ideas, of not blindly accepting what's familiar. Here's a simple example. Imagine growing up in a small town where everyone thinks a certain way. They have strict ideas about morality, success, or even how you should behave. If you're taught what to think, you'll adopt those beliefs without question. And later, when life throws something unfamiliar at you, you feel threatened. But if you learn how to think, you'll notice the same situation, and instead of reacting with fear or bias, you'll ask, why do I believe this? Does it make sense? What else is possible? You start filtering information, testing ideas, and making your own decisions rather than following a script handed to you. So, how do you start thinking for yourself? Here are a few practical steps. Question your assumptions. Whenever you catch yourself thinking automatically, ask, why do I believe this? Where did it come from? Gather perspectives. Read, watch, or listen to ideas outside your comfort zone. The goal isn't to adopt them all, it's to expand your thinking. Reflect on your emotions. Emotions are powerful, but they're not always accurate teachers. Pause before reacting. Ask yourself what your feelings are trying to tell you and whether they're based on fact or habit. Practice problem solving. Instead of asking someone how to fix a problem, try to brainstorm solutions yourself first. Test them. Learn from failure. Repeat. Stay curious. Treat new ideas, people, and experiences as food for thought rather than threats. Curiosity fuels independence, creativity, and confidence. These aren't quick hacks, they're habits, but they slowly transform the way you interact with the world, making you resilient, self-reliant, and in control. So, here's the takeaway. The world isn't out to get you, but it isn't going to hold your hand either. You are a product, and your growth depends on learning to think for yourself, not blindly absorbing what's around you. Start small. Question, reflect, explore. The more you practice, the sharper your mind becomes, and the less life can catch you off guard. Remember, independence isn't about having all the answers, it's about learning how to find them. And that skill, that's priceless. If this hit home, pause for a second and ask yourself, what's one belief I've never questioned that might be holding you back? Think about it. Challenge it and start building a life that's truly yours. If you found value here, hit subscribe because there's more guidance coming your way on thinking clearly, living purposefully, and becoming someone the world can't ignore.